Rose had always lived a hard life. She was orphaned at a young age, losing her parents in a tragic accident. Left with no family to care for her, she grew up in foster homes, never feeling like she belonged anywhere. The pain of being unwanted followed her through life, and by the time she turned 18, she had nothing but the clothes on her back and a deep determination to survive. Without an education or connections, Rose found herself working as a housekeeper for wealthy families. She cleaned their grand houses, cooked their meals, and quietly watched as they enjoyed the luxury she could only dream of. One of her employers was Mr. Davis, a successful businessman who lived in a large mansion with his wife, Amanda. Mr. Davis's life seemed perfect on the outside, but Rose quickly learned that all was not well behind closed doors. She often heard Mr. Davis and his wife arguing late into the night, their voices echoing through the large house. Amanda was unhappy, and Mr. Davis was always busy with work, barely spending time at home. It wasn't long before rumors started circulating about Mr. Davis's infidelity. To Rose, it was clear that their marriage was falling apart. Despite her own struggles, Rose couldn't help but envy the life they had. She was tired of being poor, tired of cleaning up after people who didn't even notice her. As time passed, her desire for a better life grew stronger, and she began to feel trapped in her position as a maid. That's when a dangerous idea started to form in her mind. One night, while cleaning the bathroom, Rose found something that would change her life forever, a used condom in the trash. At first, she ignored it, continuing her work, but the more she thought about it, the more a wild idea took shape in her mind. Could this be her way out? Could she use Mr. Davis's carelessness to secure a future for herself? It was a crazy thought, but Rose's desperation pushed her to consider it seriously. She knew that getting pregnant with Mr. Davis's child could mean financial security for her and a better life than she had ever imagined. She had heard of women inseminating themselves with sperm from used condoms, and while it seemed absurd, Rose felt like this might be her only chance. The next morning, she made a decision. She carefully retrieved the condom and stored it in a safe place. Rose knew she couldn't do this alone, so she decided to seek help from a doctor she had met once at a small clinic in town. The doctor, Dr. Sophia, was known for helping people discreetly, and Rose hoped she would understand her desperation. When Rose visited Dr. Sophia, she was nervous. She explained that she had been in a relationship with a wealthy man, but he didn't want children. Now, she said, she had his sperm and wanted to get pregnant. At first, Dr. Sophia was shocked by the request. She warned Rose about the risks and the ethical concerns, but Rose was persistent. After much convincing and a hefty bribe, Dr. Sophia reluctantly agreed to help. The doctor performed the procedure in secret, and Rose left the clinic with a mix of fear and excitement. She knew there was no turning back now. Weeks went by, and Rose anxiously awaited to see if the procedure had worked. She couldn't believe it when her period didn't come. With trembling hands, she took a pregnancy test, and when the result was positive, tears filled her eyes. She was pregnant. At around 12 weeks, Rose went for her first ultrasound to confirm the pregnancy. As she lay on the examination table, the doctor moved the ultrasound probe over her belly, and Rose watched the screen nervously. "Congratulations," the doctor said, smiling warmly. "It looks like you're expecting twins." Rose's heart skipped a beat. Twins. She had been hoping to be pregnant, but the thought of carrying 2 babies at once was overwhelming. Still, her mind quickly turned to what this meant. Double the children meant even more leverage over Mr. Davis. With this new revelation, Rose left the clinic, more determined than ever to see her plan through. She knew she had to act carefully and wait for the right moment to reveal the news to Mr. Davis. Few days later, Rose knew it was time. The weight of the secret she carried had grown too heavy. She requested to meet Mr. Davis privately, and as she sat across from him in his office, the moment felt tense, almost suffocating. Mr. Davis leaned back in his chair, looking at her with curiosity, unaware of the bombshell she was about to drop. "I'm pregnant," Rose began, her voice steady, "and they're your children." Mr. Davis froze, his eyes narrowing in confusion. "What are you talking about? How are you carrying my children? Did I sleep with you?" Rose took a deep breath, preparing herself for what came next. She knew it was hard for him to grasp, but she had to make him understand. "No, we didn't sleep together, but I took..." The condom you used one night. Mr. Davis's face darkened with shock and disgust. Davis, struggling to process her words, was furious. He knew this could ruin his life. The thought of telling his wife that their housekeeper was pregnant with his children seemed impossible. The reality was absurd. But there it was, staring him in the face. His anger grew as he thought of how easily Rose had disrupted everything he had built. Rose explained she had no other option, that life had been cruel to her, and this pregnancy was her only escape. Davis found himself torn between his fury and the twisted irony of the situation. For years, his wife had blamed him for their childlessness, calling him impotent. Now here was proof he wasn't. But this wasn't how he wanted that truth to come out. Davis refused to let Rose off easily. He made it clear they would need a DNA test once the babies were born to confirm everything. But he wasn't willing to let the situation spiral further out of control, for now at least. Rose agreed to wait, knowing the storm was only beginning. Mr. Davis came home that night, feeling heavy with worry. He could not stop thinking about Rose and the surprising situation they were in. His wife, Emily, saw that something was wrong. She looked up from her book and studied him closely. "Are you okay?" she asked, her face full of concern. He forced a smile, trying to hide his fear. "I'm fine, just tired from work," he replied. Emily's eyes watched him, trying to find the truth, but he quickly changed the subject. "Did you have a good day?" Emily nodded, but she did not seem convinced. She knew him well enough to see that he was not okay. He had been distant lately, and she worried it was more than just work stress. She decided not to push him further, but her heart felt uneasy. In the following days, Mr. Davis gave Rose money for baby things. He would slip cash into her hands, feeling both guilty and relieved. It was a strange game he played, trying to keep things normal at home while secretly supporting a new life he never wanted. Rose felt mixed emotions as well. She was grateful for the money, but she wondered if this was truly what she wanted. Each time she bought something for the babies, she felt both hope and fear. She dreamed of a better life but knew the risks involved. One afternoon, Emily met her friend Margaret for lunch. They sat at a small table in a cozy cafe, enjoying their meals and chatting about their lives. As they talked, Margaret had something important to share. "I saw your husband at the mall," she said casually. Emily looked up, curious. "Really? What was he doing?" "He was with a pregnant woman shopping for baby things." Emily's heart dropped. Confusion and anger filled her mind. "What did you say?" "Just what I saw. I thought you'd want to know." They looked close. Emily felt cold. Thoughts raced in her mind. Why was Mr. Davis with another woman? Who was she? Worry settled in her stomach. That night, the atmosphere in their home was thick with tension. When Mr. Davis walked through the door, Emily was waiting for him, arms crossed and a fierce look on her face. "Who is she? The pregnant woman you've been shopping for?" she demanded. Mr. Davis froze, the color leaving his face. He had known this moment would come, but he wasn't prepared for it. "I didn't sleep with her," he stammered, panic rising. Emily's eyes filled with tears. "You expect me to believe that?" she shouted. "How could you betray me like this?" Mr. Davis tried to reach for her hand, but she pulled away. "This is not what it looks like," he insisted. Emily felt the weight of his betrayal and began to pack a bag. "I can't stay here. I need some space," she cried. "Emily, please," Mr. Davis pleaded, watching in despair as she tossed clothes into the bag. "Just let me explain." "You don't get to explain," she yelled. "You've already made your choices. I trusted you." Mr. Davis felt helpless. He watched the woman he loved walk away, knowing he had caused this pain. "Where are you going?" he asked, his voice small. "I don't know yet, but I can't be here," she said, her back to him. He ran a hand through his hair. "You're making a mistake. I didn't want any of this to happen." Emily paused but didn't turn around. "You should have thought about that before you decided to betray me. I can't believe I'm packing my bags because of you." Mr. Davis took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his decisions crashing down. "I'll do anything to fix this." "Just give me a chance," he said. But Emily shook her head. "I need to think. I can't just forget this. You need to understand how much you've hurt me." With that, she finished packing and headed for the door. Mr. Davis felt dread wash over him. "Emily, please," he called out. But she was already gone. He stood alone in the silence of their home, the realization of his mistakes sinking in. The emptiness around him echoed the void in his heart. He had taken a gamble, and now he was losing everything he valued. A few days passed after Emily left. The house felt empty and quiet. Mr. Davis was consumed by anger and frustration. He couldn't believe how everything had spiraled out of control. In a moment of rage, he decided to confront Rose. He drove to her small apartment, his heart pounding. When he arrived, he stormed inside without knocking. "You," he shouted, his face twisted with anger. "You think you can just come into my life and destroy everything? You're nothing but a gold digger." Rose stood there, shocked and hurt. Tears welled up in her eyes as he continued to insult her. "Get rid of the baby. Do it now," he yelled, his voice echoing in the small room. Rose couldn't hold back her tears. "How can you say that? This is your child too," she cried. She felt crushed by his harsh words. After a few moments, Mr. Davis stormed out, feeling a mix of anger and regret. He drove home, his mind racing. That night, as he sat alone in the dark, memories flooded back. He remembered all the years he and Emily had tried to have children. Month after month, they faced disappointment. The pain of being childless weighed heavily on him. As he thought about it, a wave of regret washed over him. He realized how foolish he had been to lash out at Rose. She was offering him a chance to become a father, and here he was, throwing it away. He couldn't let anger blind him any longer. The next morning, he picked up his phone and called Rose. His voice was calm, a stark contrast to the anger from before. "Rose," he started, his heart pounding, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come to your place like that. Please don't do anything stupid with the pregnancy. Those babies are part of me too." Rose listened, her heart torn. She couldn't believe he was apologizing. She had expected more anger and insults. "You think I'll get rid of them just because you said so?" She laughed, a bitter edge in her voice. "You really are careless. This isn't just a game to me." Mr. Davis felt a deep sense of shame wash over him. "I know I messed up," he admitted, "but I'm scared too. I want to be a father, but I don't know how to handle this. Please give me a chance to make things right." Rose paused, considering his words. She could hear the sincerity in his voice. After a long silence, she replied, "You have a long way to go to earn my trust back. But for now, I won't do anything. I'll keep the babies. We'll see what happens." Mr. Davis felt a glimmer of hope. Days turned into weeks, but Emily did not return home. Mr. Davis tried everything to get her back. He called her every day, sent her flowers, and even begged her to come home. But each time, Emily refused. "I can't come back," she said firmly, "not after what you did. You brought that woman into our lives. I will never forgive you for this." Mr. Davis felt hopeless. He loved Emily, but could not bear the thought of losing his chance to be a father. One evening, he sat alone in his living room, his mind racing. Suddenly, an idea struck him. If Emily wouldn't return, maybe Rose could come live with him. He picked up the phone and called Rose. "I want you to come and live with me," he said, trying to sound confident. "Emily is not coming back, and I need someone here. You will be safe." Rose felt a rush of emotions. She was happy at the thought of living in a better place, but she was also scared. What if Emily found out? What if she came back and confronted them? Rose hesitated before answering. "Are you sure about this?" "What if your wife returns?" Mr. Davis sighed. "Emily is not coming back. She is hurt and angry. This is a chance for us to figure things out. Besides, I can take care of you and the babies. You don't have to worry about anything." After some thought, Rose agreed. "Okay, I'll move in. But I need to be clear about one thing. I won't be your secret. I don't want to hide." Mr. Davis understood. "I promise. We will handle this together." A few days later, Rose moved into Mr. Davis's home. As she unpacked her things, excitement and anxiety filled her heart. This was a new beginning, but the shadow of Emily lingered over them. Rose couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible could happen at any moment. Mr. Davis tried to make Rose feel at home. He helped her set up the nursery for the babies and cooked meals for her. They laughed and shared stories, slowly building a bond. But every time the door creaked, Rose's heart raced. What if Emily walked in? One afternoon, while they were setting up the nursery, Mr. Davis turned to Rose. I want you to know I'm here for you. You're not alone in this. Rose smiled but felt a knot in her stomach. I appreciate it, but I'm still scared. I don't want to be the reason your marriage ends completely. Mr. Davis sighed. It's complicated, but I can't change the past. I want to focus on our future. As the days passed, Rose tried to embrace her new life. She decorated the nursery with bright colors and soft toys, imagining the little ones who would soon fill the room with laughter. Yet, deep down, the fear of Emily's return haunted her. Every time Mr. Davis left for work, Rose felt the weight of uncertainty. She would often look out the window, waiting for any sign of trouble. Would Emily come back and create chaos in their lives? One evening, as they sat together watching TV, Rose turned to Mr. Davis. Do you think Emily will ever forgive you? Will she come back? Mr. Davis looked troubled. I don't know. I hope she finds peace, but I can't make her forgive me. All I can do is be here for you and the babies. Rose nodded, feeling a mix of hope and fear. One afternoon, Emily met Margaret at a park. They sat on a bench under the trees. Margaret leaned in closer. Emily, you won't believe this. I saw Rose. She's living with Mr. Davis now. Emily's heart sank. I don't care what she does. It's not my problem. Margaret shook her head. How can you say that? He is your husband. You left him for a maid. That's just wrong. Emily felt anger rise in her. You don't understand. He hurt me. I can't just go back to him. I understand. But you're letting Rose take your place. You need to fight for your marriage. Don't let him be with someone else while you stand back. Emily clenched her fists. It's not that easy, Margaret. It is easy. You love him and he loves you. Don't let Rose win. Margaret's words stuck in Emily's mind. Maybe she was right. After thinking all night, Emily decided to go back home. The next day, she walked back into the house. The familiar smell of their life together hit her hard. Mr. Davis was on the couch, looking lost. When he saw her, surprise and relief washed over his face. Emily, you're back, he said, standing up. I came back to talk, she said, her heart racing. We need to figure out what's going on between us. Mr. Davis's face turned worried. I've been thinking about everything. I never wanted to hurt you. Rose is pregnant, and I feel responsible for her. Emily felt her heart drop. So you want both of us in your life? No, it's not like that, he said quickly. I want you back, but I can't just abandon Rose. She needs me too. Emily's anger boiled over. You can't expect me to accept this. I'm your wife. I know, he said, looking desperate, but I can't just turn my back on my children. Emily took a deep breath. You made a choice, and now I have to deal with it. Just then, Rose appeared in the doorway. What's going on here? She demanded, her eyes fierce. Emily glared at Rose. This isn't over. We need to talk about our future. Rose stepped forward. You need to leave. This is my home now. Your home, Emily shouted. You think you can just come in here and take everything from me? Mr. Davis moved between them. Please, let's stay calm. Emily looked at Mr. Davis, hurt. You're letting her take your side. I'm not taking sides, he argued. I want to help both of you. I care about you both. The tension filled the room. Emily's heart raced as she realized how messy everything had become. She loved Mr. Davis, but now he was caught in a situation she never wanted. Suddenly, Margaret's words echoed in her mind. You have to fight for your marriage. With determination, Emily stepped forward. If you want to be a father, fine. But I am your wife, and you have to choose. You can't keep living like this. Rose crossed her arms. You think you can just demand things. I'm carrying his child. I won't let you take my husband, Emily said firmly. He needs to decide what he truly wants. Mr. Davis felt trapped between the two women. He looked at Emily, the love of his life, and then at Rose, the mother of his child. Can we please talk about this without fighting? But the emotions were too high. Emily and Rose were ready to fight for what they believed was theirs. As the tension grew, Mr. Davis realized he needed to find a way to end this, or he might lose everything he loved. The days turned into weeks, and the house was filled with constant fighting and quarreling between Emily and Rose. Their arguments echoed through the walls, each woman shouting her grievances, making it impossible for Mr. Davis to find peace. He sat in the living room, his head in his hands, regretting the choice he had made to bring Rose into their home. Emily felt betrayed. "You can't expect me to live with her after what she did," she shouted one evening. Rose fired back, "I didn't ask for this. I'm carrying his child, and you need to accept that." Mr. Davis sighed heavily, feeling trapped. He wanted to support both women, but the tension was unbearable. He missed the quiet moments he used to share with Emily, where laughter filled the air instead of anger. As the arguments continued, Mr. Davis started to doubt his decision. He remembered the love he and Emily had shared and how happy they had been before all this chaos began. He often found himself wondering if it was worth it to keep Rose in the house. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, Mr. Davis stood up and left the house. He needed space to think. He walked to a nearby park, feeling lost and confused. The cool night air helped clear his mind, but he still felt the heaviness in his heart. As he sat on a bench, he thought about how to bring peace back into their lives. He missed the love and warmth he once shared with Emily. He didn't want to lose that, but he also felt responsible for Rose and their unborn child. After some time, he made a decision. He knew he had to talk to both women honestly. The next day, he called them both to the living room. The air was tense, and both women eyed each other warily. "Listen, we need to talk," he said firmly. "I can't keep living in this chaos. I love you both, but we have to figure out a way to coexist without fighting all the time." Emily looked at him, her expression softening slightly. "What do you suggest?" Mr. Davis took a deep breath. "We need to set some ground rules. We can't keep arguing like this. It's not healthy for anyone, especially the baby. Let's find a way to communicate better and respect each other." Rose nodded, though her face was still guarded. "I don't want to fight either, but I won't back down from what I believe is right for my children." "I understand," Mr. Davis replied, "but we also need to consider Emily's feelings. This is her home too, and she deserves to feel safe here." Emily crossed her arms but remained silent, contemplating his words. She didn't want to fight, but the hurt still lingered in her heart. "If we can agree to keep the peace, maybe we can find a way to support each other," Mr. Davis continued. "I don't want to lose either of you. We're all in this together." With the tension still thick in the room, the two women looked at each other, each weighing the possibilities. Mr. Davis hoped his words would help bridge the gap between them and bring some peace back into their chaotic lives. But deep down, he knew the road ahead would still be difficult. Margaret was worried about Emily. One day they met in a quiet part of the park. They sat on a bench, and Emily felt heavy inside. "Emily, you can't let Rose take over your life," Margaret said firmly. "You need to fight for your marriage. Do whatever it takes to make her leave." Emily shook her head. "I don't know if I can do that. I don't want to hurt anyone. This is your home and you're the wife. You have to show her she can't just take your place. Make it uncomfortable for her if you have to." Emily felt both angry and scared. She didn't want to be mean, but she was tired of feeling like a stranger in her own house. "What do you mean by make it uncomfortable?" "Stop being nice to her. Show her she can't just come in here and take over. You need to take back your space." Emily thought about it. The idea of fighting back stirred something inside her. She remembered the love she had with Mr. Davis and how much she missed it. "Maybe you're right. I can't let her win." With new determination, Emily went home. As soon as she walked through the door, she decided to follow Margaret's advice. No more hiding her feelings. It was time to confront Rose. In the living room, Emily saw Rose sitting on the couch, looking relaxed. Anger surged through Emily. "You shouldn't be here," she said coldly. "Excuse me?" Rose replied. "This is my house and you're the one intruding," Emily said. "I'm here because Mr. Davis wants me here. You have to accept that." "You think I'll just let you take everything from me? Not happening." "I'm not going anywhere. I'm having his child," Rose shot back. "And that gives you the right to ruin my life. You'll regret coming here." From that moment on, Emily made it her mission to take back her home. She changed the little things that made their house a loving place. She stopped cleaning up after Rose and made it clear she wouldn't tolerate any disrespect. If Rose left her things lying around, Emily left them untouched, making the house messy and uncomfortable for both of them. Whenever Mr. Davis was around, Emily pointed out the mess Rose created, hoping he would see how hard it was to live with her. "Look at this," she said, pointing to the clutter. "This is what happens when someone thinks they can just take over." Mr. Davis watched the two of them, feeling the tension. He could see Emily's frustration, but he also saw Rose's struggle. He wished he could find a way to bring peace back to their lives without making anyone leave. Weeks later, Rose gave birth. To everyone's surprise, 3 months after the delivery, she decided to give her twin girls to Emily. She wanted to move on with her life. Emily was shocked when Rose told her the news. "I want you to have them," Rose said. "You've always wanted children, and I know you will love them like your own." Tears filled Emily's eyes. "Thank you, Rose. This means everything to me." Mr. Davis was equally surprised, but he supported Rose's decision. He gave her a large sum of money to help her start her life overseas. "You deserve a fresh start," he said. "I hope you find happiness." Rose smiled, grateful for their kindness. "I'm going overseas to study. I need to do this for myself." With a heavy heart, but also relief, Rose packed her things and prepared to leave. Emily watched as Rose walked away, feeling a mix of gratitude and sadness. She had been a part of her life, but now it was time for both of them to move forward. Emily and Mr. Davis welcomed the twins into their home, filling their lives with laughter and joy. Although the journey had been difficult, Emily felt a sense of peace. She finally had the family she always dreamed of, and she was ready to embrace the new chapter of her life. In the end, everyone found their path. Rose started her new adventure overseas, and Emily and Mr. Davis created a loving home for the twins. They learned that sometimes life takes unexpected turns, but love and kindness can lead to beautiful new beginnings. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.